Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be showing you guys how to create this look that I have on right now. It's a really glowy look with lots of shimmer and glitter in it. I really love the way that it turned out. There's really not that much explaining to do. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, please keep watching and I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, I'm priming my eyes with Urban Decay's Primer Potion. This one is the original formula and you guys know by now that I love this. The only thing is that I'm using a sample size and I'm going to run out of it soon and I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. For my transition color, I'm using the shade Beta from my Urban Decay Vice 4 palette and I'm applying this slightly above my crease with a MAC 224 blending brush. With my MAC 217, I'm applying Delete, which is like the darkest color in this palette. It's a very dark brown and I'm just going to gently buff it into my crease area just underneath Beta, the transition color that I just applied. And this is going to give the very dark teal color, dark green teal, I'm not sure what this color is, but it's going to give that color something to kind of transition into before transitioning into the transition color. First color that I'm going to apply on my eyelid is Makeup Geek's Utopia, and I'm applying this from my inner corner. I'm dragging it inwards a bit, okay? I'm not taking it all the way into my lid area. I'm just going to stop somewhere around here, but I'm just going to pat more to make sure that the color is intense. I'm doing this with a flat synthetic brush from Juvia's Place. These brushes, they don't have names or numbers, so I don't really know how to kind of make you guys identify this one, but it's like a flat brush. It almost looks like a concealer brush. I'm sure it's probably for concealer, but it's perfect for this type of pigment, in all honesty. So that's the reason why I am using it. My second lid color is going to be Arctic. It's a very gorgeous like aqua blue shade. I'm patting it on with my MAC 239. I'm just going to try as much as possible to make sure that I kind of like blend where Utopia meets this shade so that it transitions nicely, they both transition nicely into each other. So I'm going to define my crease and I'm doing this with a small pencil brush by Color, and I'm going to be using a very dark teal color from MAC, and this one is called Plumage, and I'm going to use this color to deepen my crease area, kind of like give my crease depth and also create kind of like a cut crease look in this area. It's not going to be super cut crease, neat, well defined, but just a very nice subtle cut crease so that it defines the line where my lid color stops and my crease color starts, if that makes any sense. I'm also taking the color into my outer corner like this. You know, I'm going to pack it onto here, drag it inwards, you know, towards my crease, and then after applying it with this brush, I'm going to go in with a blending brush, something fluffy, and I'm going to use it to blend it out. So I'm using my MAC 217. This is like a fluffy, tapered crease brush. It's my favorite blending brush, one of my favorites. After MAC 224, this one comes next. And I'm just using it to blend this teal out. So for my brow bone highlight, I am using Framed from the same Vice 4 palette and a Precision Shadow Brush by Sephora. And I'm using this to highlight my brow bone area and also just kind of using it to set the concealer that I have in that area as well. So I've gone in with this brush from Juvia's Place. It's a tapered blending brush, and I'm using it to put Beta, the first color that I applied, that reddish brown shade, back into my transition area so that my brow bone highlight just nicely transitions into my crease. That's what this shade is doing. Okay, so for the fun part, I'm going to first go in with my Too Faced Shadow Insurance Glitter Glue and a synthetic brush from Coastal Scents. This is like a concealer brush, and I'm going to pat this onto that aqua teal color that I have on the other half of my eyelid. One thing I always try to do whenever I play with glitter is to make sure that I have a good base. If you have a good base, then trust me, you're not going to have any kind of problem with the application whatsoever. So this is just going to give the glitter that I'm going to apply on top of this color something to stick to. For my glitter, I'll be using It Cosmetics Soul Sister, and I'm applying this with a synthetic brush from Coastal Scents. This is a concealer brush as well. I'll just recommend whenever you're applying glitter, try as much as possible to use something that is synthetic, because they pick up as little, they don't pick up a lot of product at once. So that gives you control and it helps you place the glitter where you need it without doing too much at once. I'm going to keep packing it on and just try as much as possible to make sure that my two eyes look similar. I'm defining my lower lash line and I'm doing this with a smudge brush from Sephora, but I'm using a combination of Delete and Plumage. To line my waterline, I am using MAC FLUIDLINE eye pencil in Black Brilliance. And this is just to comb through my lashes. I'm not going for any type of definition. I'm going to be using falsies. And for my falsies, I'm going to be using, I think the style is called NAYEONA. I'm not sure that's how it's pronounced, but it's by LENA Lashes and that's what I'm going to be using. I'm just going to take a damp wipe and I'm going to use this to wipe out any fallout that I have before I move on to the face. To prime my face, I'm using 1 scoop of my ILLAMASQUA matte veil. For my foundation, I am using my Maxio Fix Fluid in NW45 and I'm buffing this in with my Real Techniques Expert Face brush. I'm highlighting with my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Amande. And this concealer is not too bright. It's something that you can always kind of amplify using a setting powder depending on how long you let it cook or how much you apply, but it's not like a very bright highlight shade. It gives me a really subtle, nice highlight, and that's the reason why I normally go for it. But on days when I want something a lot brighter, I'm probably going to mix it with caramel to get something that is really, really bright. But Amande is like my go-to concealer shade for highlighting. I don't know why I can't talk to it. I'm going to go on ahead and blend it out with my beauty blender. My beauty blender, I didn't spray any Fix Plus on it. It's because I washed it yesterday night, so it's still really soft and bouncy, like squishy. When it's bouncy and squishy like this, then you don't really need to spray anything to kind of get it moist. But when it's very, very dry and hard, it's very difficult to blend anything out with it, and that's the reason why I normally get it damp sometimes. But I'm not getting it damp, and I'm just using this to blend out this concealer that I've just applied. You guys know what I'm doing right now. I don't even know why I'm still talking. I'm going to quickly set my immediate under eye area so that it doesn't crease, and I'm using my SACHA Buttercup setting powder for this. I'm going to set the rest of my face with my Real Techniques setting brush and the same powder. I'm just going to set down the bridge of my nose. I'm not going to set my forehead yet. I'm going to set my forehead after I contour. But I'll set my nose up until somewhere around here and then I'll stop. And I'll go in with my Black Opal Stick Foundation, and this one is in the shade Carob, and I'm using this to contour my forehead, underneath my cheeks and under my jaw as well. I'm going back in with my beauty blender and I'm using this to blend the contour out. just going to quickly set my forehead with the same setting brush and setting powder that I used to set the rest of my face. I'm going to tap off any excess powder and then use the brush without any powder on it and use it to sweep the powder that I have underneath my eyes out. To set the rest of my face, I'm using my black Corpulus powder, and this one is in the shade PL13, I think, and this is my Sigma F80. To set the areas that I contoured with my stick foundation, I'm using the F05 small contour brush from Sigma and my contour powder in cinnamon from Anastasia Beverly Hills or ABH. So I lost some of the color that I have on my lower lash line while I was setting my under eye area. So I'm just going to quickly go back and apply it again. This is something you can always do because if you have color in that area, you might lose it sometimes when you're setting or when you're applying concealer. So you just have to go back and reapply it if you feel like you've lost anything. I'm going to quickly apply mascara on my bottom lashes, and I'm doing this with my MAC Studio Sculpt mascara. I'm going to quickly apply color on my cheeks, and I'm using my Nars blush in Taj Mahal, and this is a nice angled blush brush by Kala. To highlight, I'm using my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Gold Deposit. I feel like my Nars blush in Taj Mahal didn't show up as much as I'd like it to, so I'm going to go over it with MAC blush in Raisin, just a little. My lip liner for this look will be MAC Lip Pencil in Chestnut. It's a very dark brown. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with MAC lipstick in Yash, and I'm going to apply this just right on the middle, center of my lips. I'm not applying too much. This lipstick is super pigmented and it's very pale, so I don't want to do too much. I'm just applying it on my bottom lip like this, and then I'm smacking my lips to blend it in. So lastly, I'm going to go in with ABH lip gloss in Bronzed, and this I think was part of the limited collection that they had out last year during the Christmas period. I'm not sure, but it has lots of shimmer in it and it's a very gorgeous color. I'm going to apply it right on top of everything that I have on my lips right now, and then I'm going to blend it in. After that, I'm going to go back in with Chestnut, and I'm going to use this to fill my lips in a bit more and just blend everything in by smacking my lips to make sure that I have the kind of finish that I want. So here's the finished look. I really like how this look turned out. I really love how earthy it is. It has a lot of greens and browns and oranges, and it was kind of what I was going for, so I'm really pleased with it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe as well if you're not subscribed yet. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.